October 18th, 2025, Academy Museum Gala. Jenna Ortega steps onto the red carpet wearing what looks like liquid metal armor. A leaf-shaped breastplate designed by Grace Ling wraps around her torso, held by a single stem coiling around her neck. Photographers go wild. Fashion critics call it the night's most discussed look. But weeks later, her stylist Enrique Melendez reveals what Jenna told him after the event. On the Plus One podcast, Enrique shares her exact words. "Enrique, I love you, but can we please do something more practical next time? Because that's heavy." How heavy? Enrique admits, it's like a good 20-30 pounds at least. That thing was digging into her poor collarbone. 30 pounds of metal. Digging. For hours. So why did she agree to wear it? And what does her request for something more practical reveal about the hidden cost of red carpet glamour? The breastplate comes from Grace Ling's Spring 2026 collection called the Leaf Petal Couture dress. It debuted at New York Fashion Week, where Runway models wore it for maybe 60 seconds before exiting. Jenna wore it for an entire gala event. The difference matters. Enrique explains, "You can't do anything wearing that. Imagine that on your collarbone." Grace Ling designed the piece as wearable sculpture. Dark, reflective metal shaped to resemble a leaf. The oval hangs across the torso while the stem wraps around the neck and shoulder, leaving the back completely bare. Jenna styled it with a brown silk skirt hanging low on her hips, hair pulled into a low ponytail, dark smoky eye, bleached brows, strong lip liner. Fashion press praised the gothic glamour, but nobody mentioned that she couldn't move freely, couldn't sit comfortably, couldn't forget the weight pressing into bone, because admitting discomfort breaks the red carpet illusion until your stylist speaks up. Enrique Melendez has styled Jenna for multiple major events. At the Emmys weeks before the museum gala, she wore a Givenchy top made entirely of woven jewels. Enrique admits, "I was really worried about any sort of slip happening, so we used proper tape and everything." Red carpet styling isn't just about aesthetics. It's engineering. It's prayer. But Jenna's request after the museum gala made Enrique reconsider his approach. "Can we please do something more practical next time?" The word "please" repeated twice, the acknowledgement that she loves him but needs change. That's significant. Most celebrities suffer silently. They don't want to seem difficult or ungrateful. But Jenna spoke up. She set a boundary, and Enrique respected it enough to share publicly. His podcast confession wasn't meant to embarrass Grace Ling or criticize high fashion. It was honest acknowledgement. Sometimes the art we create for others to wear causes pain we don't see. When Enrique's podcast episode aired, reactions split immediately. Fashion enthusiasts praised Jenna's commitment to avant-garde design. They argued that pushing boundaries requires sacrifice. Art isn't supposed to be comfortable, but others questioned whether beauty should demand physical pain. Comments flooded social media debating the line between dedication and discomfort. Some pointed out that male celebrities rarely wear physically restrictive or painful outfits. Others noted that runway pieces are designed for brief wear, not hours-long events. Fashion journalists began discussing the gap between runway vision and red carpet reality. Grace Ling's Instagram comments filled with both praise for the artistic design and questions about wearability. The conversation expanded beyond Jenna's specific experience. People started sharing their own stories of uncomfortable formal wear, tight shoes, restrictive shapewear, heavy jewelry. Suddenly everyone's discussing what we sacrifice for the perfect photo, and whether that sacrifice is worth it. Grace Ling is known for sculptural, boundary-pushing designs. Her work has been featured in major fashion publications and museum exhibitions. The leaf breastplate represents her signature aesthetic, organic forms rendered in unexpected materials. It's museum-worthy art. But here's the design reality. Runway pieces are created for visual impact during brief presentations. Designers focus on how garments photograph and how they look in motion for seconds. They're not typically engineered for hours of wear. That's not criticism. It's just the nature of high fashion. Stylists bridge that gap. They work with designers to adapt pieces for real-world wear. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. Enrique's podcast moment suggests a growing conversation in the industry. Stylists are advocating more openly for their clients' comfort, not demanding boring clothes, just requesting consideration for the humans wearing the art. The question is whether designers will view this as constraint or collaboration, as limitation or evolution. Jenna Ortega's metallic breastplate became the Academy Museum Gala's defining image. It was stunning. It was bold. It also weighed 30 pounds and dug into her collarbone. Her stylist, Enrique Melendez podcast Confession, opened an honest conversation about red carpet realities. The discomfort celebrities endure, the requests they make privately, the boundary they're starting to set publicly. Jenna's please do something more practical wasn't complaining. It was communicating. She wore the art. She honored the vision. And then she asked for change going forward. That's not weakness. That's professionalism with self-respect. The fashion industry's response will reveal whether it values the people wearing the clothes as much as the clothes themselves. Because true artistry considers both vision and human experience. What's your take? Should designers prioritize wearability alongside aesthetics? Drop your thoughts. And subscribe to CeleWave for stories behind the glamour, where fashion meets reality, and honest conversations change the game.